Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelen. Today's question comes from Scott in Australia. If you have a question for the podcast, please feel free to send it in. You can call and leave it in as a voicemail. In the U.S., 866-581-0221. If you have a Skype account, you can leave it on my Skype voicemail, Bill Jelen, or in London, 020-7871-4957, or just drop me an email, bill@mrexcel.com. Now, Scott has a question today that involves something very important and work-related, especially if we're trying to get out of work by hitting the lottery. And Scott's question is, he has a list of most frequent numbers that hit in the lottery over time, and we'll figure out how he got that later, probably in tomorrow's podcast. But today, each week he puts in the numbers that came up in the lottery, and he wants to know how many times those numbers were in the list of most frequent numbers. Now, Scott had proposed using a series of 6 count-if formulas that were all added together. We can do one better with a single formula called an array formula. Now, array formulas are very, very powerful in Excel, and watch as I build this. The first thing I'm going to think about is that I want to end up with a string of 6 zeros or ones. A 1 means that the number was in the list, a 0 means that the number was not in the list. Now, the array formula is going to return those 6 numbers to me, and at the end I need to sum those so that way I can get the count of the number 1. So I'm going to start my formula with equal sum and then use an if statement. Now, when I do a match command says, hey, go look for this number 6 within the list, and if there is a match, it returns a number. If there isn't a match, it returns an NA. I'm really interested in the number of NA, so I'm going to use the function called isNA. The isNA function, and then I'll put the match function. And usually, we say, hey, go match this number 6 with this list, but instead, because we're using an array formula today, I'm going to do something out of the ordinary. I'm going to match this entire string of 6 numbers, this range, C4 to H4, with the list of most frequent numbers. There's my match command. I'll use a closing parentheses for the isNA. Now, if I get an NA from that, that means that the number is not found, and I want to put a 0. That's my then part of the if function. Otherwise, I want to put a 1. There's the parenthesis to close the if function. There's the parenthesis to close the sum function. Now, this big formula, if you're an Excel pro, you'll say, well, this will never work. We have to use a secret set of keystrokes in order to force Excel to know that this is an array formula. You have to hold down Control and Shift and then press Enter. And sure enough, Excel tells us that 3 of the numbers from this week were in the most frequent numbers. We'll copy that formula down, and you'll see that even though these numbers are the most frequent numbers, out of the 5 weeks that Scott sent me, there was only 1 week where you would have hit 3 of the 6 numbers by betting those repeatedly. Thanks to Scott for sending in that question. Tomorrow we'll take a look at a different lottery-related question, how to figure out what the most frequent numbers are. See you tomorrow for another netcast from Mr. Excel.